different that didn't fit his flow chart, and it was working for a really good amount of time, and then stupid Bowser things happen.
Yeah, and then they don't die.
Yeah, and it was.
I mean, whatever. We can get into VC after this and talk about that, but right now let's talk about the match. All right, Grands, Perks, Immortal. Perks beat him in winners. It was a game 5. It was a nail biter. The 2 games that Xander won in their set were both 2 stocks. They were both pretty commanding victories. Something that I noticed about Xander when I watched that set too, that I kept in mind when I just played him, was that whenever he's down, even not when he's down, Xander likes to just throw stuff out sometimes, like that. As Speak of the Devil, and I was just trying to prey on that. And I mean, Perks, when he was able to prey on that, it was working really well. The thing though is that Perks was having a hard time in the winner set playing Xander's game, because when Xander was up, he did a really good job of not approaching. He did a really good job of just understanding that, like, I have to make Mario come to me, and like I'm at a high percent, and you know Mario needs to swing. Like after a certain percent, Mario can't like ladder combo you anymore.
Yes.
So I wonder what this set will be like in that regard. I wonder if he'll. I wonder if those same aspects that I saw in the winner set are going to come into play here. But right now it's pretty even. I've been talking a lot, so what do you think?
I think exactly. It seems pretty even, but I think right now Perk seems to be playing. I don't want to say a little more gimpier, but he's playing a lot more slower, if that makes sense. He's letting Xander come to him in most cases, and just knowing that there's a bad option coming, or an option that can be punishable, more likely than not. But that was a bit very punished. But when I was talking to Sam, they had said that, you know, he plays a very Xander Immortal plays a very rock paper scissors type of way.
He does.
And I think Perks is just gonna play the percentage and say, hey, 2/3 of the time I win.
Yeah, that's true. That is an interesting way of looking at it, and I completely agree that Xander does play very rock paper scissors. He very much does that. Like he actually, I believe it was game 3 against me. He got that. He down aired. What was it? He down aired on my shield. Oh no! I dragged down up aired him and he teched in place. And the past 2 times he immediately up B'd. But the 3rd time when I expected the up B, instead he went for the command grab and he got me on that. So. Good on him. Like so he definitely does like to play that way. And as far as Perks goes, though, I know that something in the first set too that I saw, Perks for sure was making a lot of execution errors. And the first game will go to Xander. But I know that Perks there was a couple times where he got down tilt and like wanted raw or back air, but ended up just getting reverse fair, and a couple things like that. Things that like would have made a big difference had he hit them. So I mean, we'll see. That game, I didn't really notice too much of like bad execution. I think Xander is just kind of hot right now, and he's playing really well.
Yeah, and I'd like to welcome to the booth Mr. PGH Adge as well, so we get a good idea from the Mario side of things.
Yeah, I was playing this matchup with Immortal yesterday, and oh, it's extremely frustrating. His ledge trapping is really annoying, as you saw at the end there. And whenever Sam was saying that he plays a rock paper scissors game, I mean honestly, like especially in this matchup, you really have to force him to be in like your own zone and do something else. But he's gonna push his own game. So
yeah, I mean when Bowser chooses the right option, there's very few things that can beat that. So that's why his rock paper scissors style really works for him, because, and then obviously when he chooses the wrong option, bad things can happen.
Rare miss from Perks there.
Yeah, didn't be reverse it. But Xander's style of kind of having a very detailed flow chart, knowing when certain things will be things, having this rock paper scissors, which is ideally, which I like to think is top ballistic, he's able to kind of just use raw data numbers to his advantage.
Something else too, and I'm not and when I say this, I don't at all want to want to take anything away from the skill of these two players, because I mean, as everyone in Pittsburgh knows, these are two very, very skilled players. But something I will say is that because this is Wi-Fi will definitely favor the Bowser over the Mario, I feel.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
100%.
The APM for Mario as opposed to Bowser, it's really hard for Mario, because you could slip up really, really easily on one of your combos, but Bowser, you know, he has just such big hitboxes he can throw out.
Yeah, he absolutely does. And with Mario too, especially like Adge, I don't know if you had saw their set in winners, but the two games that Xander did win in there, pretty much what happened was that he had the lead, and he just kind of like, he didn't approach, and he kind of forced Mario to approach him. And in general, that's a good strategy too, but I feel like it's even harder for Mario to do that on Wi-Fi when he's down and he has to approach a character like Bowser, because it's just, what is he? Ooh, that was a really bad air dodge, and that's unfortunate for Xander there. But I just, because like the execution's a little bit harder, it's just like, it's not so easy for Mario to get in on Bowser when he's behind, especially once he's out of those up air combo percents.
Yeah, for sure. Stream's lagging a bit for me.
I think for Perks here, what he has to do against Bowser, and I barely know this matchup, so Adge, please feel free to correct me, but Bowser is weakest when he's off stage, but more importantly, I believe above the stage, because Mario has more edge guarding options available to him.
So it's usually Xander is going to be recovering low, because it's super easy to just cape Bowser once you catch him on the up B if he goes higher, you know, mid-level. And if he's above you on the stage, he's pretty much got two options. He's either going to land with, you know, down air mixed up with down B, but that's obviously reactable, or just pretty much wait it out. Basically, anytime Bowser is above Mario, that is a bad situation.
Yeah, Bowser in the air is generally not, it's Smash as a whole, actually fighting games as a whole, you always want to be below your opponent. It's very, with the exception of maybe a few characters like Jigglypuff, but like, you want to be below the opponent. You're always at an advantageous situation whenever you're on the ground and your opponent's in the air. But it's especially bad for Bowser because his landing options aren't that great. His neutral air is okay, and the down air, if you know it's coming, is very punishable.
I'm just trying to think from Perks, given that he's lost the past two games in very meh ways. I'm trying to think what the best option for him is now.
Knowing Perks, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back to PS2. Oh, he did.
No, he did,
sorry,
yeah.
Sorry, my stream's lagging a bit.
Yeah, maybe just exit the chat real quick, or close the stream and reopen it and see if that might help. Oh! That was a beautiful combo by Perks, and Xander held in for his life.
I mean, you hold out, you get you know, maybe like what is the advantage of holding out then?
I mean, the thing about holding out is that like you don't die.
You get ledge trapped by.
Well, you get, but would you rather deal with ledge trapping, a situation where you can potentially regain stage control, or just get spiked and die?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Because at least in the ledge trap scenario, yeah, like it's not fun to have to deal with ledge trapping, but there is a chance based on the options you pick, despite being at a disadvantage, that you could regain stage control. But in that case, like he held in, so he eats a spike and he just dies. He doesn't get that chance.
Yeah, I think with that, perhaps, you know, there's many options of why he might have, I guess, why he couldn't have held out. But still, at that point, I think the good thing is good recognition by Perks, and good early up B there to get hit by the fire and regain the up B.
For sure, for sure. He used the fire against him there because he got hit by the fire, held out, and then upbeat into him.
Exactly.
That was some pretty good awareness by Perks there.
It's a little risky though because he could risk also getting hit by the wind box.
Absolutely. But it was a risk that paid off for him. So right now he's got the lead. He still has 2 stocks, and let's see how much more damage. Let's see how much more he can widen the gap. Oh, quite a lot now it seems. He's got something going. Down air? Yes,
Yep,
that is going to be it. Pokemon Stadium has a low ceiling, so definitely came to Perks' aid there.
Those platforms definitely make it super, super, super good for ladder combos to extend to, especially with the low ceiling.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. So, I wonder what the bans will be here. Last time, Perks made the mistake of not banning Smashville, and I have notifications on, so he banned FD Smashville. So he's going to Lilat. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Immortal really likes Lilat. He thinks it's probably Bowser's best stage, to my knowledge.
I do believe he has said that to me as well.
And personally, I don't really agree with it, but if I were him, I would have banned Smashville Kalos. Because trying to kill Bowser, or just like really, really early kills from Bowser on FD, could be bad.
Well, so wait, you're saying that Perks you think should have banned Kalos over FD?
Yes.
Interesting, because in their game 5, Perks actually won on Kalos, and the advantage that I think that that Kalos offers over FD in this matchup is Mario can live longer. I mean, so can Bowser, that's true, but Mario also gets more recovery mix-ups because of the wall.
That's true, but
and the platforms.
That's true. It's just the thing is that Kalos is pretty much the one stage where Mario can't get gimped on. And I think that like if you struggle to kill the Bowser a lot, especially with those huge blast zones. But I mean, I think he was feeling pretty comfortable that he could secure the kills though.
That's true. I know Perks also just in general, and I know Mario's also aren't like in general as well, but I know Perks is definitely not a fan of FD just like as a stage.
Yeah.
Especially as a Mario, like I know that it's really not a good Mario stage.
I mean, I don't think Mario inherently has a bad stage, but it's debatably his worst, depending on the matchup. Good out smash.
I talked to Perks at length about stages early on when I joined the community, and Perks was like, he believes FD's a bad stage because it's, and I know you agree with this, where it's extremely polarizing.
I see.
A lot of people think it should be a counter pick.
I don't know. I like, and this might be biased talking, and I'm completely aware of that. So like, you definitely weigh in after I say my opinion here. But like, as someone who has played Melee, I don't think FD has ever been more polarizing than it was in Melee, simply because of chain grabs and how much it affected the Space Animals. That being said, I think Space Animals should suck it up because you lose on one stage, boo freaking poo. But I don't know. I just like. I don't understand, not that I don't understand it, I see people's point of view when they talk about FD being a polarizing stage, but like, I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like people over-exaggerate a little too much. I don't really think FD is that bad. I just think that it's the most bare-bones stage you can get, and I understand there's absolutely characters that benefit more from FD than there are from Kalos, but I don't think, especially in Ultimate where there is no, like, there's no chain grabs. There's really no even like re-grab combos at all. And I understand that's not necessarily like the only case with it, but I feel like it's a lot less problematic than it's ever been. But that's just my take.
And honestly, I think Kalos is a lot more polarizing than FD because I think FD is fine as a starter because small. It's fair. You have a wall jump for a lot of characters on a lot of stages that can't do that. I mean. Obviously, you're going to want to counterpick to your benefit, but like, I don't think it's that bad to the point where it's like, oh, we need to make it a counterpick or even ban it at all.
Ooh, bracket reset. So yeah, I agree.
Speaking of stage though, I think this stage was a really good pick for Immortal because I wasn't seeing him do it too much here, but something Bowser could do. Up tilt covers all the platforms, and Mario actually has a much harder time landing against Bowser on this stage. One of the things Perks was doing though is that he was still using the platforms to his advantage. I saw Immortal was shielding, and then he literally was just like empty hopping around him, just playing a bait and punish to try to get him to do something. But and the other thing too is that jab blocks really suck for Mario on that stage, and for Bowser it doesn't hurt him that much because he only needs the one then down smash.
Okay, they meant to go to PS2 here. Xander just said he was mashing.
Bowser mashes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's. I'm gonna try and keep this. Professional. That's because I could go on a rant about Bowser to no freaking avail. But that being said, okay, so yeah, they did want to start PS2, so that's where they're gonna start. Interesting. So Perks loses the first 2 games on PS2 and then ends up winning Game 3. I mean, PS2 is universally pretty much agreed upon, for the most part, to be the most neutral stage in the game. There are some characters like Snakes I know like it a lot, and a lot of people don't like taking Snake there. But like that aside, I feel like most people agree this is a fairly neutral stage.
Yeah,
agree. I also hear it benefits Palus a lot. I'm not entirely sure why, but I definitely see for Snake.
Snakes like it. Zero Suits don't, interestingly enough.
Interesting. I used to be an Isabel main, and I think that was her worst starter.
Ooh, fire game. Yeah.
Looked like he was going for something cheesy there.
Now, please.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I could see him going for some pretty early capes. He wants that. He doesn't want that lead.
No, yeah.
Xander to have that lead.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, Xander. The Bowser with a lead is not fun to fight against at all.
Yeah, because he can back it and breathe fire. He can, play very safe. Crouch a lot. And going back to the stage starting, as someone who's now fully gone into Pikachu mode, I do believe Pikachu is another character that benefits heavily from starting PS2, given that none of the, even though like Pikachu, I believe none of the starters are bad, PS2 is definitely above the others. It's one of the better ones, I believe.
Interesting. What was I gonna say? So that's an interesting pick though. Something about Bowser though is that Bowser, one thing he is very good at, just like his design as a character. So when Bowser becomes scary when he has the lead, because Bowser is very good at anti-approach. Because he has such big hitboxes and a good out of shield option, he's very good at stuffing your approaches, just like that. So when you have to approach Bowser, I think Bowser in with a lead is there's a big debate among whether Bowser is top 20 or not. I know Xander believes he is. Some people like Nairo doesn't think he is. But I do think that Bowser with a lead is for sure top 20, at least.
The most polarizing thing there, I would say, is if you're in a last hit situation and if you kill the Bowser or if the Bowser kills you. Because Bowser with Rage after a fresh stock is extremely annoying.
Absolutely, yes. His damage output, as if it wasn't already good enough, gets even higher.
Anyways, though, I think Immortal's doing a really good job at following Perks' DI, not really getting laddered too much, at least minimally. There's only so much you could do as Bowser, but I noticed there were times where he was still even going in for the platforms. He's obviously very familiar with this matchup because he knows that he can't extend that much.
I like that nair out of shield, even though it didn't hit. He was able to react, like holding shield towards the ledge. Maybe if he moved back just a little bit, it was covering both the get-up option and the tournament winner. I liked it, even though it was missed base, just because it's covering 2 out of the 3 real, well, actually 3 out of the 4 real good options Bowser had.
Oh god. This is
a really bad position to be in.
Up smash? Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
So definitely doable for Mario. Absolutely doable here. It is. I agree. It's pretty scary right now for anyone right now in this position against Bowser.
I think right there it made it a lot better because he didn't get the rage racked up and he's going to be able to extend his combos much easier against Bowser. Oh, I was gonna say it was just 1 or 2 combos away from evening it out, but that's unfortunate.
Yeah, got F-Tilt did the double jump, so Mario with Not the greatest recovery without the double jump, and the cape doesn't really propel you forward anymore like it used to, like it did back in Melee.
Yeah,
So-
it actually stops your drift entirely. So if you don't have a jump after, it does quite the opposite of what it would do in Melee.
Yeah, actually, Marth side B does the same thing. Both of those, I think, are now good, like, recovering vertically, but horizontally, they're terrible.
I think that they're really, really good mix-ups, but and they add so much creativity, but they're high risk, high reward.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that.
I was about to say exactly what Leonard said about Marcina and how it stops momentum, which is still good in a sense, but definitely it rewards creativity more than overusage.
For sure, for sure.
Okay, so I think Perks got his feet in the water with that last game after the reset. He was probably just a little shook after that first stock, and you know, knowing that he just lost the reset. So I feel like Perks is going to do much better, and Xander's going to have to work a little harder.
Let's hope so. I do hope that we can at least get this to I hope this could be an exciting set. And right now it's looking like it. Perks definitely honestly he played very well that last game. It was just that unfortunate SD that he had the first stock that really kind of, I think, put him real down.
Yeah, he was looking a little shaky at the start, but over time he, you know, did a lot better. But whenever both players are going steadily at each other and you have that poor lead and you're not able to capitalize, you know, Xander's capitalizing off of that lead. It's really hard for Perks, but I think he's a lot more comfortable now. He's jumping a lot.
Yeah.
One thing I did notice Perks doing a lot was, which I didn't really notice before, at least in person, is the use of down tilt to kind of down tilt and reverse up air. It seems like he's found a way to really evolve reverse up air and to involve that better into his kind of his extensions, and I saw that pay off greatly early on. And right now, Immortal's just kind of running a train on him, just a little.
Something I wanted to notice, I just want to say real quick, I'm noticing a lack of parries from both these players, and I know that both of them like to do it a lot, especially against both these characters. So, I mean, that probably has a lot to do with the Wi-Fi, but I just want to say that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, the parrying is definitely, the timing is very different online than it is offline. Perks in my set, he parried against me one time, and up smashed me for it. But yeah, I haven't seen too many parries. Also, something that Immortal has been doing a really good job of is utilizing Bowser's armor in a lot of situations. Like he took Perks' last stock by doing an up smash after Perks nared at him. Perks going for, I don't even know what the heck that was.
He wanted the wall jump and go up, but I guess he bonked his head, or maybe didn't have his jump or something. I don't know.
He did wall jump. He was too low.
No, he did.
No, you can wall jump all the way down.
No, the center pillar you can wall jump off of you can actually do it on PS2 but not PS1, interestingly enough.
It's like that on Unova too.
But yes. But no, he did get the wall jump there. I just couldn't tell if he bonked his head double jumping and then went for the wall jump, or if he went for the wall jump, double jump, and then like hit his head on the double jump after the wall jump. That was the only thing that was a little unclear to me.
We have an update. Looks like we're going town.
Town and city.
But
I'm calling an Incineroar switch right now.
Immortal is
Yep.
Is this
he does not play Bowser against Mario on town. I've done it before. He always changes to Incineroar.
Interesting. I feel like, you know, okay, so right now the bracket was reset. Xander's up 2-0. He's got some room to play around with for sure. And so, you know, he can see if this pick works. I feel like he's gonna get steamrolled.
I don't inherently agree with it. This matchup is way better for Mario, and he's way better at Bowser too. So, yeah. And honestly, I'm not entirely sure why he won't play Bowser on this stage against Mario. I think, given that is his main, you know, he should just stick it through, you know. And
I
even
do
if
too.
he loses one time, he can't really go back to that stage, especially if he has the 1 game up advantage. I think he's just going to lose momentum here after the Incineroar switch.
And I think
Well,
Perks is going to gain some more info.
A little bit for sure. I think one of the reasons that Xander might not like this stage is because Mario has access to the platforms in the stage much easier and can convert much easier off of them than Bowser can. I feel like the platforms are actually just much more of a nuisance to Bowser than anything.
Yeah, yeah, so Bowser, whenever he side Bs, its damage is scaled by how far you fall, not how close you are to the blast stem from a platform. So he's actually doing less damage with side B, and with how high the ceilings are, it's not that great, but I don't know, I still think that, like, with how small the side blast zones are, it's still really, really good for Bowser with his ledge trapping. And granted, I know Incineroar can get some really early kills with side B, but I don't know.
The thing is, I don't see Immortal using stacks. I don't see him using the revenge stacks at all. I don't think I really ever have.
I think it's because he doesn't main this character, and his main character in Bowser isn't a counter character. So when you're presented with such a unique option that you're really not used to playing with, you tend to forget about it. Like,
yeah,
I use counter a lot. So I for the most part have always played counter characters. Like I play Marth in Melee, and like whenever I mess around with him in this game too, I'm very aware of the counter because Greninja also has a counter. So like I know a lot of the situations where like it would be useful. But being that Xander doesn't play a counter character, and like the other character that he kind of plays with is Plant, who also doesn't have a counter, so I feel like I feel like he just kind of forgets about it. I'm surprised there was no F smash there, but it is online, so he probably could have got shield up in time. He got the kill anyway, though.
Yeah.
I'm just seeing a lack of special moves from Incineroar, and honestly, I think that Incineroar's game plan is best if he's using his specials.
I agree.
He's not really utilizing Incineroar's cheese much. I was playing against him yesterday. He plays a pretty... I mean, honestly, he plays an honest Incineroar. He plays Incineroar as if he's playing Bowser. Honestly, ledge trap's the same.
A little bit, yeah, and like the thing about going back to that flood backfiring on Perks a little bit there. I kind of agree with Squatch though about the counter because Incineroar does have the fastest counter in the game. Frame three.
Yep.
And I do want to kind of say one thing, as called it, you know, George cheese. There's something I dislike about the word cheese, and I think what Hugo had once said was cheese is something in which your opponent has not seen it before or doesn't know the counter pick or counterplay to it, so they're otherwise not knowing of it. But I think your Perks knows that, and in Incineroar's it isn't cheese. It's more of unorthodoxy, or you know, difference from mainline Smash, characters.
You'd be surprised because his character has stuff with down smash. His hurtbox shifting is basically like a spot dodge, but he throws a hitbox out. A lot of Incineroars like to side B and then down smash immediately after, or down smash and then neutral B, or something like that. And I mean, obviously you don't see this character very often at all, so obviously the playstyles are going to be pretty different from each one. I mean, I would honestly call that cheese, but you know, Xander's wasn't really going for that.
So I know that the way that Hugs' analysis of cheats is a little bit more in-depth than mine is, because the way that I've always viewed cheese or gimmicks is all they really are at the end of the day are mix-ups, and people just get mad when they get hit by it because like they're not true combos, they're mix-ups, and like that's all really cheese and gimmicks are. Like they're just mix-ups that the opponent wasn't ready for at the end of the day.
Yeah, and so to give context of when Hug said this was when Fiction got, you know, up air gimped by Axis Pikachu, and you know, Fiction called it cheese. And in that case, it's not really cheese, it's not even a mix-up, it's just unorthodox.
Well, not only that, Fiction's a really salty player. That's not even cheese, that's just wow, my opponent who plays Pikachu knows his character really well and executed something he's been doing for years longer than I have. I can't believe that, like, I'm salty about it.
I also feel to some extent whenever we're comparing melee philosophy with ultimate in practice, it's kind of like comparing apples and oranges too.
In the context of gimmicks or cheese, I don't agree, but in terms of the overall styles of game, completely.
Yeah, I can see that.
But like, they're very different games, and the way that you go about neutral and everything is very different. So like, I agree. Comparisons between the two are apples and oranges. But in this particular instance of cheese and gimmicks, I don't really think it's necessarily the same. What I will say though is that sometimes the cheese or gimmicks in Ultimate are harder to punish than they are in Melee because of how advanced the movement is in Melee.
Yeah.
That was kind of like, you know, what a Melee player might think is cheese might be perceived as okay by an Ultimate player, but vice versa as well, because they're so used to different things.
Absolutely, for sure.
Yeah, that's all I was going with that.
Very different games for sure. So FD Smashville with a ban.
That's death.
That is death.
He's on his tournament stock here.
He is on his tournament stock. Let him go back to Lilat. But I mean, it's tough because against Xander, it's like you're gonna eat Lilat, Smashville, or FD. So you kind of have to pick which one you'd rather play on, and Perks would rather have, I guess, these platforms to work with.
Yep. Small blast zones.
And the small blast zones for sure. Okay, up tilt.
Ladder. Nope.
Mario, because Bowser's such a big body act, Mario actually does get like the old Smash 4 combo, like the down throw double up tilt on Bowser because he's just so big.
Yep. And heavy. For a while.
Yes, and heavy.
That was insane.
Perks right now though, not like
grab.
For the percent being completely even at the stock, Perks has done a good job at closing the gap. Let's just hope he can not take that much more damage before closing the stock out.
Yeah, I definitely want to see this go into game 5.
Couple things too, like right there. So I feel like Perks might be playing a little scared in some areas because Xander F tilted his shield, and I understand that on some characters F tilt's safe, but I feel like he could have absolutely back aired him out of shield for that F tilt because his back was to him.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just really scary because, you know, if you're a little shaken up and then you do short hop and aerial out of shield and Bowser just, you really don't want to risk anything against this character at high percent.
That's true.
Jumping and dashing are both commitments.
That's true. Very true.
Especially as Mario. Oh,
right.
Caught him on the bad DI. He was trying to dash out. That's it.
Congratulations to Immortal, better known as Xander, for his victory in SMAK 2, SMAK-SD2.
So, as you know, Lunar